Hey G-Fans, gojifan93 here, and welcome back to day 15 of Godzilla Thon 2014. We are on the last Showa film, Terror of Mechagodzilla. And here is my X Plus Mechagodzilla 74, because that's the only thing I have related to this film. I don't have a Titanosaurus figure, and I don't have a Godzilla 75 figure, so this is all we got for this one. So, Terror of Mechagodzilla, the last of the Showa series and a continuation from the previous film Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. So, first off, what I've always noticed with this film is that instead of Godzilla having a teammate in this one, Mechagodzilla gets a teammate, which is Titanosaurus, which is a new monster that was created for this film. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that Titanosaurus is not my favorite kaiju. I really don't care for him as a monster. I mean, I've never really liked him. Even as a kid, I kind of, saw Titanosaurus. I'm like, he's alright, I guess. I mean, he can swoosh his tail back and forth to make wind, I guess, but, he doesn't really have anything else from that. But yeah, I just not a huge fan of Titanosaurus. But hey, you know what? I hear that there's a lot of fans out there that love Titanosaurus, and that's perfectly fine. It's just my opinion. It's just me. That's it. So, yeah, Mechagodzilla's back. He's more badass. He's been rebuilt, obviously, because he got pretty much demolished in the last film. And Godzilla's back. And what's interesting is that the suit is still the same. It's still the 73 suit, but it's even more modified. You can definitely see it in the face that he looks more... This Godzilla is definitely more meaner. That is for sure. Like, he's just really... Like, this Godzilla just looks angry all the time. And definitely, by far, one of the best entrances in a Godzilla film is when Godzilla first shows up in this film. It's awesome. The way that the shot's all set up, it's all dark, and you see Godzilla's silhouette in the background, lightning strikes, then a Godzilla just pops up, and he's just like, raw. It's just awesome. I love that. Probably one of the best entrances ever. So, yeah, and the story is pretty interesting. It's basically about a mad scientist who created Titanosaurus, but he was shunned from the scientific world because they thought he was too crazy. So he wants revenge on them, and what ends up happening is I believe his daughter ends up getting almost killed, and what happens is that the aliens from the previous film, they're not monkeys this time for some weird reason. And I don't even think, did I even mention that in the last review? Did I even mention that the aliens who control Mechagodzilla were apes? Did I mention that in the last? I think I totally spaced that last part. But anyways, yeah, but in this one they're not. They don't turn into apes when they die or anything like that. But the commander guy basically, blackmails the doctor guy saying, well, hey, help us rebuild Mechagodzilla and we'll keep your daughter alive and blah, blah, blah. So, and surprisingly, the only character that I remember her name is Katsura. That's the scientist's daughter's name, and then she has this there's like a little bit of a love interest between the main protagonist, but it's kind of bland. It's not really thrilling or anything like that. So basically just another, once again, aliens trying to take over the world kind of story. The only twist is that Katsura now controls Mechagodzilla, so they do a lot of close-up shots with like Katsura's face and like her eyes like light up, and then Mechagodzilla does some kind of attack. So then, yeah, it's just basically from there, humans try to figure out what to do. Same old, same old. We've seen this before plenty of times. And they get to the final battle, and it's, actually the before the final battle, there's actually the first appearance where Godzilla fights Titanosaurus, but it's only for it's like a 5-second battle. They really don't do a lot. Like when I had to edit the custom DVDs, it was basically literally like 10 seconds of just them fighting, but that's it. But then we get to the really good battle, the final battle, and it's not as good as the previous one, as Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, because I don't know why. It seemed, I don't know, it just had a different tone to it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It's really weird. It's hard to explain. You gotta watch the films back to back to see how the tone is for both battles. But yeah, but Godzilla gets his ass owned. One, because, you know, it's 1-on-2. It's totally unfair. Godzilla doesn't have King Caesar this time, which is really weird because even though this film is a direct sequel to Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, there is no mention whatsoever of the previous film, like except for like a flashback. You know, that's really all there is. But they don't talk about the characters that were in the last film. They don't talk about King Caesar. It's like it never happened, and it's really weird. I don't know why they do that in Godzilla movies. They try to make a direct sequel to something, but they don't talk about what happened. It's like it never happened. The only film that was a direct sequel that had better continuity was Godzilla SOS compared to Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Those two films had really good continuity with each other. This one, it is a direct sequel, but they don't talk about what happened in the last film. It just bugs me. I don't know. It's just I don't like that. But they do use stock footage from the last film, so I guess that's kind of like a I don't know. They use stock footage when Mechagodzilla just goes all out crazy, just shooting like everything from his missiles, his chest laser, his eyes that shoot rainbows, his freaking knee missiles, his foot missile. I mean, this guy is just freaking. He's a tank. All right, it's crazy. But so yeah, I mean, the final battle, it's not too crazy, but. Another interesting thing that was a twist, I guess, was that when Godzilla, you know, when he goes for Mechagodzilla, you know Godzilla knows what to do. He goes for Mechagodzilla, he goes for his head, he tries to do the same thing by trying to rip it off like he did in the first one. And what happens is during the final battle, you have the humans having their little final battle thing, and what happens is Katsura ends up, spoiler alert, dying, and then when she dies, apparently Mechagodzilla just goes complete offline. He just breaks, his head explodes, and then Godzilla rips his head off, and then I love the shot where Godzilla's like walking back, he's like, yeah, and then he goes, what? And it's like you can literally see the guy he's just like, huh? And then Mechagodzilla has like this little brain that's inside, and if you get the Rick Boy of the Mechagodzilla 75 X Plus, it actually comes with a detachable head, and you can put on the brain head, which is pretty cool. I don't have that, I just have the standard version, but and that thing, it didn't even, like, even though that was a new thing, it didn't really do a lot. Like, it only got one shot at Godzilla. Like, Godzilla tried to run towards him, and he shot like this laser. It hurt Godzilla, but after that, like, during the human confrontation, they end up totally trashing the aliens' control center, and then Mechagodzilla completely goes offline. He breaks. Godzilla just chucks him into the ground. Fire breathes him, blows him up. It's over, and it's big explosion, pretty awesome. Yeah, and another thing what they did is that the humans made up this like radio interference gun that they shot at Titanosaurus, and I guess it just interferes with the control center with Titanosaurus because the doctor scientist is trying to control Titanosaurus, and they end up doing that, and Titanosaurus just ends up going crazy. One thing that I have to note, which is really weird, when I first saw this movie, when the humans were aiming their little interfere gun radio thing, whatever, I don't know what it's called, the camera angle was looking at Mechagodzilla, so it was really weird. It's like, oh, they're gonna shoot at Mechagodzilla. Then when they shoot it, it ends up hitting Titanosaurus, and you're just like, oh, that's who they were shooting. Well, then why was the camera angle focused on Mechagodzilla? Just that little thing just bugged me, but every time I watched it. But yeah, overall, you know, it's not as good as the original, in my opinion. I still prefer Mechagodzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 74 compared to the sequel, but overall, it's a really good way to end the series. It ended on a perfect note. Godzilla's, you know, going into the water, and just the camera just, you know, pans out, the music's playing, and it just kind of ends there. A really nice way to end the series, the Showa series. So, yeah, 1954 to 1975, and it'd pretty much be another 9-10 years till we'd get another Godzilla film. So I think 9, because it was 1984, 1985 till America, I guess, gets another film. But yeah, so that's all I got for this movie. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for tomorrow for Godzilla Returns, or The Return of Godzilla, or Godzilla 1984, or Godzilla 1985. There's a lot of titles for that film. But yeah, really excited to review that one again because that is my all-time favorite Godzilla film. And yeah, that's it. So thank you guys for watching. Stay big, G fans.